spaceship called Borealis is on its way to the new mission to collect resources for Earth from other planets. Inside the ship, all the crew members are inside cryopods waiting to awake after they reach their destination. But unfortunately, on its course, the spaceship comes across an asteroid field, and with the ship being huge, the asteroids manage to easily collide with the spaceship. This causes severe damage to the ship, and this activates the ship's emergency functions. The cryopods are launched into space and are headed towards the nearby planet. And in one such escape pod, we are shown a man named Andy. He was taking a space nap in the cryopod, but as soon as the asteroid hit the spaceship, his personal AI woke him up and prepared him for emergency landing. The internal functions activate, and the AI brings out robotic arms which print a suit around his body. At this time, the cryopods with other members of the crew are rapidly falling towards the planet. But due to the asteroid belt, many pods crash and explode before landing on that planet, and sadly, the crew members present in them were killed. But almost half of the pods managed to enter the planet's atmosphere, and Andy's pod happens to be one of them. Due to crash landing, Andy fainted in his pod and he regained consciousness by remembering his family back on Earth. As soon as Andy regained consciousness, the AI asked him to immediately get out of the pod. The impact on landing caused the pod to not open, and Andy had to find some way to get out. When Andy looked at his emergency equipment, there was no flare gun in it because Andy was a small engineer and his company had given the flare guns only to the seniors. He uses his fist and tries to get out by breaking the window of his pod. But when he slipped out, the pod rolled, causing the broken glass of the window to damage his suit. Andy started freaking out since his suit was running out of oxygen. Thankfully, his pod had a repair spray and he used it to fix the suit. But right then his AI informed him that his pod had started burning due to a short circuit and told him to escape if he wants to live. Without wasting a minute, he crawled out, after which his pod got destroyed. Right then, Andy sees his spaceship coming down in flames and crashing a bit far from his location. Soon a very big explosion occurs and the shockwave throws Andy several kilometers away from his location. When Andy regained consciousness, he asked his AI where he was at this time. His AI told that he was in an unknown place on a planet which no one has discovered yet. When Andy asked about the other survivors, the AI did not know anything about them either because everyone was far away from him. Andy was about to sit here when he saw a light at a distance. He started moving towards the light. On the way, he saw another pod which was completely destroyed. He ignored it and moved ahead. He did not only ignore the ship but also ignored the strange claw marks and blood on the ship, which could have proved to be a danger for him. On reaching the light, his happiness knew no bounds because there was another survivor who was also very happy to see Andy alive. He was Dwayne, and he was sure that no one else survived. Dwayne used to work in the communications center of their ship, and he knew very well how to send signals to the Earth. He had already set up a system here to send signals to the Earth. He tells Andy that it will take 8 months to send a message from here to Earth, and it will take 2 years for any emergency ship to reach here from Earth. They will have to survive here for almost 3 years, and then there will be hope of going back to Earth. Hearing this, Andy became sad because he felt that there is no chance for them to survive on this unknown planet. But Dwayne encourages him and says to keep the ray of hope burning inside you. We will definitely go back. Andy asks how they will survive. In response, Dwayne says that they can survive on the flesh of all the people who have died here because it is very cold here, and in such a situation their flesh will not spoil. Despite not wanting to, Andy decides to agree to everything Dwayne says. During this conversation, Andy's foot gets stuck in a wire, and the wire comes off the equipment, and Andy turns back to fix it. While he was installing the wire, we see a strange big creature attacking Dwayne and taking him away from there. When Andy fixed the wire and looked back, Dwayne was nowhere to be seen. He got confused about how someone could disappear so quickly. Since Dwayne is not here, Andy had to send the message to the Earth. He uses the machine as told by Dwayne and sends the message to the Earth. He also took Dwayne's flare gun with him because it was going to be very useful for him in the future. Andy was now looking for a place to stay here, but he could not see any place far and wide. His AI tells him that there is not much oxygen left in his suit. Hearing this, his frustration increases, and he starts shouting loudly, but then he hears someone's voice on his radio. It was Naomi's voice, his senior astronaut, who had also survived this. Naomi tells him that her leg is stuck inside her pod. She calls Andy to come save her, but Andy's AI scans and tells him that Naomi's pod is so far away from him that it will take him 2 days to walk to it, and he doesn't have that much oxygen. Naomi also hears this, and asks him to come to her since her pod has oxygen. Ignoring his AI's advice, Andy proceeds to save Naomi. Day turned to night. Andy got tired of walking, but then suddenly he heard a scary growling sound from behind. When Andy looked back, he couldn't see anyone there. He asked the AI to scan the area, but the AI couldn't scan much in the dark. The AI told him that the company had restricted such provisions for Andy, and this was the same for all the juniors, since the higher-ups wanted to save money. Hearing this, Andy couldn't help but think that he was hallucinating, that there was some creature here, because he had not seen any creature with his eyes till now. But as he moved forward, he saw strange holes on the ground which looked like footprints. While following them, he reached ahead and saw a very big hole, and he understood that some creature definitely lives here, and he also informs Naomi about this. Scared, he was about to run away from here when his AI scanned and told that many of the survivors were around him. He sees the data and calls out to them over the radio, but no one responded to him, and he understood that something was wrong. Since he knew that strange creatures were living on this planet, he was thinking all this when he again heard the same scary sounds from around him, as if some creature alien was coming towards him. He also turns off the light of his helmet and hides there, but the creature was probably still able to see him. It came towards him, and to save himself, Andy shoots it with the flare gun in his hand. This catches the attention of all the creatures in the area, and all of them start chasing him, and in this way he comes to know that these creatures must be the reason for not seeing any survivors so far. Well, to save himself from all the aliens who were chasing him, he started running, and while running he fell down a crack. Andy thought he was safe from the creature, but the creature used its long legs through the crack to attack him. It was crawling over him, and Andy noticed that the signals of the survivors were coming from inside the creature's stomach. Andy's suit got damaged once more in this pursuit. He uses the rest of the repair spray to fix the suit, and then he hears someone's voice on the radio. It was Dwayne, who went missing earlier. Dwayne announces over the radio, "Help me, I am fighting this creature." Andy was surprised to find that Dwayne was still alive, but he did not have the courage to climb up and face the creature again and help Dwayne. Right then, Naomi encourages Andy and says, "I hope you must be tired, but you should help Dwayne so that our chances of survival increase." Thinking this and agreeing to Naomi, he starts going out. He sees that Dwayne was bravely fighting the creature, and Andy fires a flare at the creature with the flare gun. Dwayne, who was fighting, gets distracted as soon as he sees Andy, and another creature coming from behind caught Dwayne and killed him. Now the creatures know that there is another one here and start looking for Andy. Learning the situation, Naomi uses her advanced AI and turns on the system of all the cryopods near Andy, due to which the lights of all those pods get turned on. All the creatures get distracted towards those pods, and this way Andy gets a chance to escape. While running, Andy reaches a strange place. This place was extremely beautiful and mysterious. There were purple color fireflies in this location. For some time, Andy got lost in thought seeing this sight. Suddenly a firefly came and sat on his helmet, and as soon as it sat on the helmet, the color of that firefly turned red, and similarly many fireflies approached his suit too. As soon as they sat on the suit, all these fireflies started damaging his suit. He realized that these fireflies were dangerous, so he immediately pushed these fireflies from his suit and ran away. While running, his foot got stuck in a strange pit. He saw that it was not a pit but a big worm. The worm, waiting with its mouth open, caught him and started swallowing him. Andy was feeling very bad seeing the insides of the worm. He was about to vomit, and was also feeling suffocated. He started getting a heart attack. Sensing his condition, his AI immediately gave him an electric shock, due to which his own condition improved. Along with that, this shock also affected the worm, and it spat Andy out of its mouth, and Andy was saved. However, the hunting creatures waiting for Andy to pop up spotted him being thrown out. They started chasing him, and to escape from them, Andy ran ahead and found a tunnel. Thinking it to be a good place to hide, he ran inside. It was proved wrong because it was the nest of the same fireflies from which he was trying to escape before. These fireflies attacked his suit again and punctured it. Due to this, the oxygen in his suit was going down rapidly. Seeing this, Andy radios Naomi to tell her that he cannot come to save her. The AI says that it found another cryopod, but Andy has to go in the other direction to reach it. The AI advises him to go there to fix the suit and fill up the oxygen. Hearing this, Naomi says that it is okay for Andy to go to the ship, but Andy knows that she will be in danger before he returns after fixing his suit, so he thinks of saving Naomi first by putting his life in danger, and runs fast towards her pod so that he can reach it before his oxygen runs out. As soon as he was about to reach Naomi's pod, his oxygen level went down completely, but then he somehow managed to reach Naomi by dragging himself, and after Naomi pulled him inside the pod, he fell down unconscious. Naomi immediately gets into action and fixes his suit and fills his suit with oxygen. Andy soon regains consciousness. Here Andy sees that Naomi's leg was really stuck. That is why she was not able to come out. When he tries to pull her leg out, Naomi feels a lot of pain. There was nothing here with which he could free her leg. Then Andy opens Naomi's emergency case and makes a lever by combining a few things, and with its help he is able to take out Naomi's leg. Due to getting stuck so badly, her leg got slightly fractured, but it was a blessing that her life was saved. Now Andy and Naomi come out of the pod with the repairing spray and flare gun. As soon as they came out, many creatures surrounded them. To save themselves, both of them had to run away from here. But Naomi was in pain because of the fracture in her legs. Then her AI injected her with a high dose of medicine so that she does not feel the pain, and she can keep running. They followed the AI's advice and reached the remains of their main ship. Finally, they reached that part of the ship which was in a little better condition. Here, Naomi tries to open the compartment of the ship using her AI, and in a short time she succeeds. Right when they were about to go inside the ship, many creatures came behind them and Naomi immediately closed the door of the ship, due to which half of the creature's body was cut off. Seeing this, Andy was about to puke, but with great difficulty he controlled himself and moved forward. Andy and Naomi breathed a sigh of relief after a long time, but they find a creature inside the ship and they hide from it. After it leaves, they think that they have escaped, but another creature comes out from the open hatch. To escape from it, they quickly go to another cabin, and Andy closes the door, and they realize that they have made a big mistake since it was an airlock chamber. Helplessly, Andy started hitting the door with the creature right outside. Since they are now stuck here, they had no other way except to talk to each other. Andy starts talking about how he was meant to die, and because of him, everyone around him dies as well. Naomi tells him not to think like that and asks why he feels so. Hearing this, he shows her the video of his family. He had a happy family. His wife and son loved him a lot, but one day they both died. An accident happened in which both of them died, and Andy survived. Andy tells him that it was all his fault. Hearing this, Naomi says that whatever happens, it happens for good. They now hug each other here because they thought that these are the last moments of their life. But then Naomi notices that there were fireflies on Andy's suit which were attacking his suit earlier also. She picks up these fireflies and throws them on her door, due to which these fireflies attack the door, as well as the alien standing behind the door. The alien was repeatedly trying to break this door. Now the door was open. They had to run somewhere else to escape from here. When these people ran outside, another creature started chasing them. How could they save their lives from it? Naomi gets an idea and says that they should kill it. They will crush the creature under the door like how they did before. But when they tried to put it into action, the door did not close. They jump off the platform to dodge the attack, and the creature lands in front of them at the same time they do. It recovers very quickly and comes after them again. So Andy throws his repairing spray inside its mouth. The monster bites it and the spray explodes on its face, giving them the chance to run, but the creature manages to take off the spray and runs on the ceiling to jump behind them. They both fall, but Naomi gets up quickly and runs to make the creature chase her, saying Andy to find a way to kill it. Andy sees there are some more cryopods inside the ship and asks his AI to find a working one. The AI tells the location, and Andy climbs to the last line of pods as fast as possible and reaches the top platform. At the same time, Naomi is hit by the creature. Andy uses the main control and turns off the lights, giving Naomi the chance to hide from the creature. She finds some emergency lights at that spot. When Andy tries to set the pod to fly on its own, his AI explains it cannot be done because he shut down the power. So Andy has to fly it manually from inside the pod. Andy gets into the pod and connects his AI to start the pod. Naomi comes out with the lights hanging around her, which makes the creature chase her. Andy waits for the right moment to eject the pod. The pod crashes on top of the creature, finally killing it. Naomi runs to the pod and finds Andy's body. She cries, telling him not to die, and begs him to wake up. But the very next second, Andy opened his eyes and it was revealed that Andy was not dead, he was just unconscious. Seeing him alive, Naomi feels relieved. They were so emotional at this time that they could not say anything to each other. Suddenly light fell on their faces and they saw that it was morning. They came towards the window of their spaceship and started looking at the beauty of this strange and dangerous planet. Whatever it was, both of them agreed that this planet was very beautiful. And now they had to stay on this planet for the next 3 years, hoping for rescue from Earth. Please make sure to subscribe for more recaps like this. This is your host for Movie Recap signing off. Thanks for watching.